Bro, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Y'all, it wasn't even a year ago.
My tablet is not taking a charge again.
Okay. I only saw Don. Alright, who's this? That's Paul. When was the last time with Paul? End of July 2020.
My tablet is not taking a fucking charge again.
A little less than a year ago. She said end of July 2024, but before that,
What the
there.
fuck?
So remember, we got a timeline going on here, right? There's February 2024 to get back together. She has a Don in August. But the month before that, she had an FO with Paul. What did you think Paul did? I thought Paul was a personal
It just
trainer
doesn't
for Diddy.
work anymore. It just doesn't work anymore. No more charging my tablet. This is the brand new charger.
NBC
The brand new fucking charger.
That would be surprising.
Bro, are you fucking kidding me?
Can we move on? Can we move on?
Let me try flipping them around and see if that makes a difference.
One minute ago, Washington Post sent an update through a network of institutes was available for free calls. Jane testified. This network of institutes is what I want to start seeing some
Lame.
investigations and
I'm being
prosecutions.
pumped now.
I want them to be looking into these OnlyFans so-called
When the tablet dies, I'm gonna just go on to Vigo because I can listen to this and Vigo at the same time.
And they're taking revenues from these S acts and they're hiring
Dude, my fucking tablet. That means I have to buy a tablet now, and I just got an Apple Watch.
Creators. I want investigations into those networks. I don't know, innocent until proven guilty. I have no way to know, but perhaps starting with Creators Inc., who Harvey Levin, who is very obviously connected to the Diddy team through Mark Garagos, Diddy's lawyer is Teeny Garagos. Harvey Levin did a whole corn, it's the new TV or whatever for Creators Inc. I'm just saying, if the FBI wants to start looking in any direction, I can't see why not to start at the largest adult content creator management firm in the world, the most lucrative one, as well, I don't know why they wouldn't start there. Anyway, a network of S workers was available for free calls, Jane testified, but she and Diddy eventually started recruiting porn stars to join the sessions. Jane, who is testifying under a pseudonym, said she reached out to at least 2 adult film stars, including one named Chef, because he worked as a private cook on the side. She said she began suggesting Diddy hire porn stars rather than S workers. Well, what's the difference? Well, there is a difference, but I think it means she started suggesting they hire adult film actors. So she could have relations with men she was familiar with rather than strangers. When Assistant U.S. Attorney Martin Comey asked Jane why she acted cute and bubbly with a particular porn star, she replied, because he was familiar with me and he felt like a safe option. Versus a stranger showing up and doing S work. How did Paul get there? Remember, end of July she had an FO with Paul, and then August she had another FO, this time in Miami with Don. How did Paul get there? He would book his own travel, or he would already be there. Who's this? This is a man named Leo. I met him through Diddy for one of these nights. I met him on my birthday. And when's the last time you had a freak off with him? 2023. Where did you see Leo? That was LA. What else did you call him? Italian. Who's this? That's a guy Diddy brought into a hotel night in 2021. What happened? Oh my God, y'all, look at this. Diddy said he had someone coming over. I was repulsed. Oh, this is the 2021. So this must have been before she was picking her own people. This guy, Diddy had brought and said, oh, he's coming. Who's this? A guy Diddy brought into a hotel night in 2021. What happened? Diddy said he had someone coming over and I was repulsed. L'Hermitage. 2021, she was repulsed when she saw this guy. I want to see him. With clothes on, just the face is fine. He looked sweaty. She said he looked sweaty. He didn't look nice. He kind of smelled. What did you do? She said, I tried to make it work. I tried to seduce him with my body, but he just kept sweating so much. I looked at my partner. I'm not feeling this. I was in lingerie and heels. CNN is a little bit lagging. They have NBC, but that's to be expected from them. Nothing new here. I don't know why the testimony seems to have slowed down from earlier. Let's see if we can find Anton. Here it is. Maybe get a visual.
We'll do that later, I suppose. Bro, I'm gonna be so mad if this charger's broken or something, dude.
Well, let me not put nobody up on here. It's not them, because that could be a popular name. So,
Okay, so it's charging my phone.
okay, 2 minutes ago, Fox News said Jane, Diddy's ex, explains why she took over choosing men for hotel nights. Now, I think the prosecutors are having her do this because they already know from Diddy's lawyers' opening statements that they are going to say this was all consensual. Jane willingly did this because she knew it was a part of being Diddy's girlfriend, and she did it willingly. And so she even picked the guys. And so I think they're really explaining why she did that. According to her, from May until October 2021, Diddy would reach out to the entertainers. But Jane said she eventually started arranging the entertainers because she didn't like to be surprised with strangers. She said, I hated it. She said, I decided to choose who's going to be on my body. She said she got the idea to choose from watching porn. Then Maureen Coney asked, did you want to have relations with men other than Diddy? Absolutely not, she replied. The first person Jane spoke about was a man nicknamed Chef because he had a passion for cooking. Jane recalls watching some of his videos discussing the size of his down there, and Diddy was allegedly encouraging and flirtatious, so she offered to message him. She said she sent him a message via Instagram and they texted about small talk. They allegedly had a FaceTime conversation in late 2021 or early 2022, and things got really hot and steamy on the FaceTime call, according to Jane. She said they started talking to him about relations and showed each other their bodies, and Jane claims she did this because Diddy wanted her to. She streamed the FaceTime call on Diddy's TV, and he allegedly watched. said Diddy reimbursed her. She said when she first met the male entertainer, he was really sweet and there were butterflies. She claims she remembers telling him that her partner would be there as well, so he wouldn't be surprised. They made small talk and then went about the same routine. This routine included her outfit, oils, dancing, pre-gaming, on the male entertainer, and then, full-on relations. Jane testified Diddy was there watching and taking care of his own self. He was really happy and saying positive things. Jane said she invited this guy, I think this was Sly, to hotel nights for Chef. Because she knew Diddy would want an entertainer. She would suggest Chef because he was familiar with her, and that's why she did not want to have relations with him. But she felt like it was a safe option. We have another new update from CNN. A minute ago, Jane gives more details about the sexual encounters between her, Diddy, and other men. Jane said hotel nights with Diddy were frequent between May 2021 and October 2023, either weekly or every other week. This is over 2 years. This is a job. This is a freaking job. Jane and Diddy were on a break from October 23 to February 24, and after they got back together, the sexual encounters only occurred at Diddy's Miami home, and they were also less frequent. Jane recalled only about 5 sexual encounters with Diddy and another man between February 2024 and Diddy's arrest last September. So he kind of like stopped having FOs after the house got raided. Like, it went from every week or every other week to 5 times in 7 months. But also he probably had, possibly had other partners at the time. He could have been doing it as well. Jane recalled only about 5 times that she had sexual encounters with Diddy and another man between February and when he was arrested in September last year. The last encounter was August 2024. She said she didn't know how many different men she had relations with during the hotel nights over the span of the relationship. Lost track, lost count. Okay, we're back on Inner City Press. Okay, so she was talking about this grotesque and detestable sweaty beast that Diddy had booked to come and do hotel nights. She said he looked sweaty and he didn't look nice and he kind of smelled. What did you do? I tried to make it work. I tried to seduce him with my body. He just kept sweating so much. I looked at my partner. I said, I'm not feeling this. I was in lingerie and heels. What was he wearing? Nothing. This is nasty. So then Diddy said, do you want to taste it? And I said, I'm not feeling this. So she said, I'm not feeling this. When was this? 2021. This was all the way in 2021, the beginning of they started dating in 2021. This big, nasty, sweaty shows up. I tried to make it work. I tried to seduce him, but I looked at Diddy. I was like, I'm not feeling this. And then Diddy's sweaty man is wearing nothing. And Diddy said, do you want to taste it? And I was like, I'm not feeling this. And then what did Diddy do? He laid me down and he started to have relations with me. Where was the other man, the sweaty man? He was hovering over me and he was just sweating on me. And what? Diddy told me to look at the man's private part. But then the private part just wasn't working or whatever. And Diddy told him no worries and the man left. Then what? Then Diddy told me that someone else coming. Paul. I was blindfolded. So he was like trying to make it more like, fine, you don't like the sweaty man I had. I'm gonna put a blindfold on you and you'll be able to see the next. I was blindfolded and Diddy wanted me to touch him. I took a liking to Paul. I was more comfortable. I thought he was handsome and nice and he had a warm energy. Did you want to have relations with him? Sexual? Jane said no. But if I did have to have relations with someone, I guess it wasn't so bad with Paul. Who's this? This is a man named Michael. I saw him twice, 2022 or 2023. The Edition, Los Angeles. Diddy said something new was coming, and then just a bit later, Diddy was having a small talk with this guy on the balcony, and he invited me out. Refreshing my other sources. We have an update from Washington Post. 4 minutes ago, Wesley Parnell, assistants to Diddy would usually book travel for the entertainers, Jane testified. She recalled paying at least 2 men cash from what she referred to as Diddy's cash drawer in the hotel rooms they used for FOs. One of the lower-level charges against Diddy involves transporting men or women across state lines with the intent that such individuals engage in prostitution. This is language stemming from a 1910 legislation known as the Mann Act. Prosecutors have presented compelling evidence to meet the legal criteria, at least for that charge. Cohen's legal team has attacked this strategy as racially motivated, noting that the Mann Act was used to convict Jack Johnson, the first black heavyweight boxing champion, for fraternizing with white women. President Donald Trump posthumously pardoned Johnson in 2018. Two minutes ago, NBC News said Jane says she only had relations with entertainers to impress her lover. She was asked about the entertainers she met with. One man, who went by the nickname Chef, was chosen when Jane and Diddy were watching some of his videos, taking substances and having relations, and she got in touch with Chef after Diddy encouraged her to. Chef would have escort FaceTime calls, and she would mirror the video call on the TV for Diddy to watch. The prosecution asked Jane if she wanted to have relations with entertainers she picked, and she said no. But she did it because she wanted to impress her lover. She said she didn't see 2 of the entertainers in person without Diddy. 2 of the entertainers that she was asked if she ever seen without Diddy, she said no. But he would encourage her to ask them for explicit photos and videos. It's almost like he was setting up an evidence trail to make it look like she was asking for it. Like he was setting it up almost. It's like what it could look like to some people. I thought, okay, so now they're talking about Michael, who she saw twice in 2022 or 2023. Diddy said something new was coming, and then just a bit later, Diddy was having small talk with this guy on the balcony, and he invited me out. And Jane says, I thought Michael was attractive. He was from a website. What website, girl? Okay, who's this? I don't know his name. I met him on my birthday in 2023, one of these nights. What happened? Well, Diddy told me to come to Miami and we would be alone. He was so sweet. So luring, right? Forced broad coercion. To lure her there under false pretenses could be possibly argued by the prosecutors as some type of fraud. Tweet, and I'm just doing something on the back end over here.
Look at clean refrigerator.
So Diddy told me to come to Miami. He said we would be alone, and he was so sweet. We were eating sushi at Nobu in the hotel, and Diddy said, we have entertainment. We have entertainment. She said, I gulped and said, entertainment? What did Diddy say? He said, it's your birthday. I just accepted it. Why? Jane said, I don't know. I don't know why. This was her birthday, 2023. She said, we get upstairs, the man comes in, it was routine. Eating sushi at Nobu in a hotel, Diddy said we had entertainment. So again, as recently as 2023, Diddy is booking these people. Again, remember, a big criticism song Cassie detractors had with Cassie was she was booking all of the guys after the first or second time, but all the entertainers. But Jane is saying, he told me that we were going to be alone. And then when we got there and we're eating sushi and it's like, no, we're not going to be alone. I would have just felt so just used and disgusted by him. But it does bring to my mind, like, I do understand you got to get your rent paid and stuff. But at some point, it's like, I want to know what happened when the breakup. Did she ever just leave? She said, we get upstairs, the man comes in, it was routine. I'm like a robot. I'm getting the guy comfortable. And like, I do think Diddy has used like legitimate mind control techniques. And I'm not even saying this from like elite Illuminati. Like, I'm just saying, y'all, like the MK Ultra stuff is unsealed. It's declassified. You can see it yourself. The tactics that are used, it's literally a mind control program, and it works. And the things that they did to people were giving them substances, exhausting them, messing with their schedules, making them completely dependent on the administrator of the experiment, stuff like that. And I'm saying if he's a part of the commissioned program, no. Maybe, but I don't think so. I think it's just, you can just learn. If you're a sicko, you can just learn how to control people. And then you're not going to sit on a stand and say, the reason I didn't say no is because I was mind controlled. Because you don't even understand what that even freaking is, probably. I mean, she might, but it's like, it's literally mind control tactics. These are scientifically proven mind control tactics. And it also depends on like little by little. It's a grooming pattern. I mean, argue with your mama, don't argue with me. Because it's not really up for discussion with me. But anyway, so she's like, I just accepted it. I went upstairs, this man comes in, it was routine. I'm like a robot. Getting this guy comfortable, and this reminds me of that girl, Lily Phillips, who slept with 100 men in a day or whatever, in 24 hours, whatever it was, 101 men. She said that. She said, I get into my routine, and I'm just like, it's very robotic. And then she said at the end, she's crying. She said, it's not for the weak girls. Is Creators Inc. managing her one day? Or is it Rodney's basement? Or whatever it was. Rodney's playroom or whoever it was. I mean, who's getting these women to behave like robots? And it's like, you know what? I can see how it looks like voluntary or whatever, but like they don't know why they're doing it. She's like, I don't know. I can't even explain why I'm doing it, but like I don't have any trouble believing she hated it. It sounds horrible. You think your boyfriend's inviting you to come up for your freaking birthday? To come to fly out for your birthday? You think you're getting a birthday treat? And you're at dinner at Nobu eating sushi, and he's like, oh, we have entertainment. And look how they use different words for stuff, y'all. It's not, I have somebody that you have to have relations with in front of me for your job. No. It's entertaining. It's model. It's adult film star. Like, you have to stop softening the language. It does allow people to get away with stuff. Abuse. In my opinion, I don't know, I wasn't there, so I believe it. I believe it in my opinion from what I'm reading. I wasn't there, I don't know. And since I'm proven guilty. Okay. She says, I'm like a robot. I'm getting the guy comfortable. She starts sobbing. Do you need a break, Jane? You said you were robotic. What do you mean? She said, well, I've done so many of these, I just kind of tune out. My partner likes to see. I just turn on this person. What do you mean you turn into another person? She splits. She splits. She said, I just click in to a person who can just do this. This is like trauma programming. What happened? I was much quicker with this person. He felt more like a stranger to me than anyone. I don't want to do this on my birthday. I asked Diddy for a protection. Where was he? He was behind this man. He gave me these dirty looks like, you better not ask for a effing protection. I could just hear that. What else did you hear him say? Objection! She's not allowed to talk about what she heard. The judge is like, yes, she is. Be quiet. Sit down. What else did you hear him say? She said, I didn't want to sour the mood. Why didn't you want to sour the mood? She said, I just didn't want my partner to be unhappy with me. Do you need a break? No, I'm okay. So what happened next, if you're ready to tell us? I think this is going to be a pretty bad story, because she's like, the prosecutor keeps asking, do you need a break? Do you need a break? Okay, we got an NBC update, NBCnews.com. Jane testifies, this is 5 minutes ago. Jane testifies she was repulsed by one of the men participating in a hotel night. She said one of the men who was included in a hotel night in 2021 repulsed her, saying he was sweaty and smelly and he didn't look nice. I just remember I was hesitant, the witness said of the encounter. I tried to make it work. I tried to kind of seduce him with my body and, I don't know, make some sort of attraction happen. She said he was so sweaty. She was trying to give Diddy looks to like how she wasn't feeling this. While wearing high heels and lingerie, she tried to dodge Diddy's suggestions just to perform. She was wearing high heels and lingerie, and Diddy was trying to suggest, remember he was like, do you want to taste it? Sweaty, nasty beast in the room. Diddy was trying to suggest that she perform an act on the man, repeatedly telling him she wasn't feeling it. Then she said Diddy started to have relations with her. And I just remember this man was sweating on me. Diddy then just...
Oh, I'm so glad I am celibate.
And it makes me think about like when Britney Spears in 2019, she said in 2019 she was like stuck in this house and these people were
The men who I let do that to my beautiful body, I cannot even. That makes me vomit.
Was trafficking in the state of California, and I always, and I still to this day wonder, who was that? Who were these people in here? Why did she relate it to trafficking? I don't think that was an accident. Is it like, Diddy was letting these sweaty beasts come in and just have relations with people? I mean, the Vince McMahon lawsuit accused him of that. He would like make girls and women think that, or this lady, particularly this one lady, think that he liked her and that was his girlfriend, he loved her. It was really to like basically like sell her to other men. I wonder if, there was any exploration of that within the prosecutors looking into this case. I don't know. I'm sure they looked over. I'm sure there was no stone unturned, and they made including stuff, and I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. It's just a thought I had. Okay, she's like, I didn't want to sour the mood. I didn't want to make him unhappy with me. What happened next? Diddy gave him a protection, but then he walked away. He was so disappointed. The guy finished. I can't remember where. Then what next? The man left. We switched rooms to a bigger suite. Then what? Then Diddy was more loving and he was more celebratory. I did the hotel night on my birthday for 12 hours. He had a cake there and balloons, and then freaking another guy shows up.
The big tablet is gonna die soon, YouTube.
This is disgusting. I mean, there's no other way. He had cake there and
good, Gio.
And then Sly comes. Did you talk? No. It was just hours and hours of that. Pleasing this guy. Doing so much. Doing all of it. The pre-gaming, the things I know my partner wants to see. Going back and forth. going to Diddy, going to the guy, doing a shower, going to the guy, going to the Diddy, going to a shower. It was just over and over. And she said finally it was morning. And she thought, again, y'all, she thought she was going to hang out with Diddy alone. She gets there and Diddy's like, we have entertainment. And she gulped, no boo, and was like, what? And not only was it one entertainment, it was two. Then what did Diddy say? That Don was coming. What did you say? She said nothing, like it was fine. Why? She said, I love my partner. What did you do with Don? Sexual relations. It seemed exhausting. I do wonder why, because like even if you love your partner, like at some point, you're just gonna say no, I'm too tired, unless there was like an actual like, I need to know about the force, the fraud, the coercion, because I do know that I've heard other people say Diddy's dangerous and he'll have somebody hunt you down, chase you down. But I even now am like, okay, at some point, almost all humans do reach a breaking point. And if you're like, life isn't in danger, like, when is her breaking point? And she's just gonna say no. Now they did break up in October, but I wonder why. I need more information about the repercussions of if she were to say no. Because at some point, I mean, this is nasty, this is gross, but even for me, at some point, I'm like, first guy, I'm tired. After the second guy, can we, I mean, like, I can't do that, I'm tired. Again, she might have been on substances. She didn't testify that she was here. I mean, I guess she must